you want to say something first?
Why don't you take some questions?
I will. I'll take the questions now. Sir.
The average income in the U.S. is $41,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
According to the league, your average salary is $115,000. And these average people are the ones who are buying the tickets to the shows that are no longer open. So what do you say to them?
Well, one, I can't find out where $115,000 a year comes. If you're talking about department heads, there are 3 department heads in each theater, and they are the ones that get the top rate from amongst Local 1. And where $115,000 comes, we have an $88,000 annual salary as far as, and everybody's got to keep in mind, if they're working that week. $115,000 or whatever your number you come up with at the end of the day is if you're working 52 weeks a year. That's why we need to protect the job security that we have. You have a show that runs for 3 weeks. We're working for 3 weeks, and then we're loading it out. If the house is dark for 3 months, we're not working there for 3 months. So the number lacks facts because that's if you're working 52 weeks a year. You can't say an average salary unless you know exactly how many weeks you're working. So if you're in the Majestic and you're working Phantom of the Opera, and obviously it's been running for a long, long time, thankfully, you know, the heads, there's 4 different categories which we work by. The head of department will make, with their shows, $90,000, and you have benefits on top of that. $150,000, $160,000 that I heard yesterday is absolutely not factual. If you build in more hours and you work more time, you can accrue more, you know, accumulated earnings. But to say that that's your bottom line, it's absolutely lacks merit. Let me get to the biggest point. The majority of the people that work in the theaters from Local 1, we're doing $67,000. And you know what? We're not suggesting that we're out and we're not making a good living, but we are out there working. When I was out in the rank and file, I worked 9 years in a row on Thanksgiving. And I ate Burger King, because that was my job, and I did it. And there were no restaurants open on Thanksgiving, but I ate at Burger King, and I didn't see my family. We're getting money to work on holidays. We're working when everybody else is enjoying the holidays. We're putting an enormous amount of hours, and we're not going to apologize for the talent and the skill that we bring to the table. We will never apologize. These have been negotiated, and again, when the theater owners and producers come to their senses after the deal's over, they're going to say, you know what, we pay them because they're worth it. But now in a difficult time, all these numbers. You never see these numbers revealed during the course of the year. It's only negotiations when everybody's angry with each other.
The other question is, what do you say to people who are going to the theaters and are so disappointed to find them closed?
What do I say to them? I ask for their understanding. We're fighting for our lives just like I would expect they would. And if they can't, we're fighting for the people out there, the middle class too. Again, this isn't just about us. This is about a middle-class job that we're trying to protect. And we'd ask, you know, we suggest to the public that's trying to pay for that ticket, we're trying to keep our wages so we can afford the same ticket that they're paying for, that they have to pay for. Again, I can't apologize for, to suggest that a union is fighting for their rights and to maintain their wages to protect their families and their kids. That's exactly what a union does. And we happen to have with our bargaining strength the capabilities to do so. Yes, ma'am, and then we'll go to you. I'll tell you what, right now, it was hard enough for Local 1 to stay in the theaters when these folks implemented rules on us that were not negotiated, and we don't consider that honorable. And I asked, you know what? I asked my members to sacrifice. I said, you know what? We owe it to the theater community. We care about the other workers. They're our union brothers and sisters. And you know what? I asked them to go in. I said, give us some time for these people to do the right thing and make an honorable deal because we don't want to go out on the street. And what I don't want to hear anymore is my members saying, why are we talking to them with feather bedding and provocativeness? It's disrespectful. And as they continue to say feather bedding and they keep telling basically that we're thieves, we're not going back to the table with that lack of respect. We have told them that it's not the honorable thing to do, and we can't negotiate under those circumstances, and we refuse to. So if I keep seeing feather bedding in the paper, if I keep seeing that stuff, it's just going to enrage my members, and I work at the direction of my members. I represent them. I'm their president, but you know what? I do what I'm told. I don't direct them what to do. We're going to go back to the table when these people find honor and they tell us that they're willing to come to the table, and some of the garbage that's on there because they want to buy another house and not give the public a break. It's certainly not to give the other unions more money. It's not to give the other unions more money or give a ticket break to the public. It's so they can collect. They've even said it. We want more profits. I have this gentleman here. My apologies. I've spoken to the mayor several times. In fact, I haven't had the opportunity to actually have those conversations prior to this whole labor dispute, but he could not be more of a gentleman. He has been absolutely terrific, and he's been offering his services, and I've respectfully declined, and I continue to respectfully decline. The theater owners and producers have suggested for the past year that, you know, the best way we can do is we'll force Local 1 to the street, and the mayor's just going to come in and tell them to come to the table, and we'll figure it out. That's out. We have said to everybody, we are more than capable. I have professional negotiators, I have attorneys, we have people with that kind of skill, and while we absolutely value the mayor and his intentions, we believe that we should make a deal amongst the people that know what the situations are in our industry. So again, we continue to respectfully decline the mayor. The best thing that we can ask the mayor and his assistants is to tell these people that we have a job to do. We're 121 years old, and this local has never, ever in 121 years struck Broadway. So there must be a problem somewhere. We're not just doing this. We don't do this every week. We're doing it now because we're protecting our lives. Sir. Oh, I'll answer that. I'm just saying I haven't pushed it out there. That's an example. When we say there's minimums, it's for our protection and the safety and the efficiency for the theater that we don't believe that are their priorities. Their priorities are the bottom line. When we have a piece that requires, there's so much weight and there's so much danger backstage, and I have the records to back up the injuries that absolutely, as the shows get so much bigger, they get so much harder, and my members are getting hurt. And when they're dealing with bottom line, I can't deal with bottom line. I got to deal with the protection of my members. If there's a four-person, you know, a piece that needs to be moved, they're going to want to do it with three, and I can't count on them, because I'll tell you why. Our relationship with them is not the same as it used to be, because their bottom line is more important than keeping the people safe in that theater. That's what we're talking about. We have to maintain safety and efficiency. We can't count on them with their requirements at the bottom line. We have to make sure that we're safe above all.